Hey guys, welcome back to Phil Plays TCG. It's that time of year again, where a couple weeks before the brand new set drops, we take a look at the current meta, go off of our testing and some of our predictions, and make a predictions tier list video. Big emphasis on the word prediction. This is just what we are thinking based off of all of our testing and discussions with other content creators and players. And we're just going to see if we can predict what the meta will look like with the next set, Rivals Clash. And with me today, a veteran of the channel, long time, Dragon Ball super player, friend to many content creators, Cody. Thank you so much for hopping on the channel, man.
Hello.
Oh man, so this is going to be fun. We're up to 40 leaders now, crazy enough. And
that is a lot.
It's so many. We'll try to go through a couple of these pretty quickly, just because there probably won't be a whole lot to talk about. But we do want to, start off with a couple of the problem kids, and then start off with the new leaders, and then we'll be going over the rest of the leaders to see if they got support, see if they kind of just got left out dry, and see if anybody ends up in the help me please tier. But we have 5 tiers here. Tournament winners. These are leaders that you can easily see winning any regional or store regional tournament or any big event. Then you have topping decks, which are decks that are going to do very well, but may not win or may have a hard time winning these events. But in the right pilot, in the hands of the right pilot, they can still do very well and possibly even win. We have rogue/high roll, that decks that if they see what they need to see when they need to see it, they will pop off and absolutely decimate the opponent. We have locals or casuals. Basically, this is a fun deck, but probably don't bring it to a major event. Bring it to your locals, have some fun with it. And finally, like I mentioned earlier, the help me please tier. God, please give support to this deck. It needs it. And Cody mentioned before starting the video today that we need to talk about the problem kids, and that is Super Boo and High School Goku. We're just gonna already put these guys up into tournament winners, and Cody, I'll let you explain.
Well, I mean, nothing changed with these decks. There's no way that either of these decks are already crept out. They already both have good Broly matchups anyways. Like, Broly and Naboo feels unwinnable, essentially. Like, you can't do anything. And then the Halo Ku doesn't care about your Brolys.
Right.
Okay, cool cards. So these decks are still going to be very good. They're still going to be probably the best decks. These are the decks to beat, essentially. It's not like we got a format shift where the new decks are the ones to beat. Like, we still have to contend with these at full power. And unless something changes in the foreseeable future, it's going to stay that way for some time.
Unfortunately. These two, there's calls for bans, there's calls for nerfs. I do agree that something needs to be done. We have a set 3 leader and a set 4 leader, still doing absolutely amazing. You would think with some of the new leaders that people would want to try those out, or maybe they would power creep these leaders a little bit, but nope. These guys didn't get any boost, but they're still ridiculously powerful. If a limited or ban list would happen between now and the official release of the set, obviously these guys would drop. We'll just have to reevaluate at that time, depending on if anything happens, how badly these decks are impacted.
Yeah, I mean, it really just depends. But this is like a sunset tier list, so this is just very early on. We could be completely wrong about some things. I think it's just important to keep note that if you put a deck in a strong tier and it doesn't get played, or it doesn't have any tops during an event, or during a season, that doesn't mean the deck wasn't strong. It could just mean the deck just wasn't played. Because as soon as a deck wins an event, one deck wins an event, that becomes the most played deck regardless.
Yep.
So that's kind of just how the game will work. So even if a deck is still good, still in a strong tier, and we put it in, say we put a deck in tournament winners and it doesn't win a major, that doesn't mean the deck was incapable or not strong enough to win a major. That just means it could have been not played as much, or the people that were on it seen lower rolls, because this game is still partial to variance. But yeah, so keep that in mind. The decks that we put in the higher tiers are still going to be very strong decks.
Yep, exactly. All right, guys. Now that those two are out of the way, let's look at the brand new leaders. We have 6 new leaders to place in our tier list here. Let's start off with the brand new blue Kid Goku. Honestly, I think this deck is very, very good. The aggro version in particular is very, very good if you can see what pieces you need. And I think so far that's the version of the deck that I've had the most success with. It has pretty good matchups into a lot of other decks right now. Maybe let me know what you're thinking. But I can honestly see this deck doing pretty dang well in tournaments.
My problem is, why would I play this ever over Halo?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, the deck is capable. I think it's capable, but there's no way anybody's playing this over Halo. Like, there's no shot.
Like, even with the
so it's like
ridiculously good like end game, the fact that you can like drop your secret rare and then swing 85k double strike at the.
Yeah, but Halo can do that too. Halo can just play the 5-drop with a sharpener on board and then just double hope slash. Damn. So it's like you don't even have that advantage over them, right? Like they basically can do what you do.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, this deck is good. It could win. Like, you could take this. You would just be ever so slightly worse than Halo Q, and then you just seen the better run out that day. This deck could win. It definitely could. But it's just it is just ever so slightly weaker than Halo Q, which is why I think you're more likely to see it get tops than you are to see it win an event.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I can understand that. Between the two blue decks, people are just gonna be more drawn to play the deck that they already know. They already know how it works, instead of playing the brand new deck, which will take some time to get used to. But there are arguments to putting it in tournament winners, but I do think putting it into at least into topping decks is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think that's a good argument for it, because it's definitely a strong deck. I just think that the gravitas towards how the meta will shift. I think people are just going to be playing Halo Q. They kind of did the same thing as you do, like with the big double strike included in their deck now, and Sharpener lets them like double Saiyaman to really just crack boards. Like, they get so much value out of your secret rare that it's like, why am I not just playing that deck? So yeah, it's like the big thing that you're going to be cool at doing, they also do. So, it's very good. It is still strong. It's capable enough to do it. But I just think that because of how the format will actually turn out, I think you're more likely to see it a topping deck.
Okay, that's good. Now, let's talk about little mini Vegeta over here. Honestly, my personal testing, I feel like he kind of belongs in Rogue or High Roll. If you see what you need to see, if you play on curve very well, this deck is swinging 30Ks, 40Ks multiple times a turn. It's a very annoying deck to deal with in the right matchup. But the problem is, it doesn't have a whole lot of combo power for defensive purposes. You are basically, to get the most out of this deck, you are having to take your own life or self-awaken very quickly. And that does set you up against another aggro deck to like punch your face in, and that could be a problem. But like late game, I think this deck is very, very good, just how many times it can swing very big. But I just feel like if you don't see what you need to see when you see it, this deck can kind of run out of gas mid to late game. What do you think?
We have completely different opinions about this deck.
Okay. I'm glad to hear it. Let's talk.
Yeah. So why weren't you just playing the deck kind of like Super Boo? Just like not just actually playing to prolong the game and like mid-range your opponent down and then just combo them out later.
Damn. Maybe. I don't know.
See, if you play to awaken quick the dual attack with the leader, yeah, but you don't actually gain any advantage besides pressure. Okay. But if you can still gain the 10Ks and still attack your opponent while you're unawoke while they're awoke, well, that's really good. Because now you get to like do all of your stuff and still have all this pressure, but you're also like not losing the leader swing or having a combo on the leader swing when like you've played a stally game while using your big bodies to like chunk in their life. I think this deck's very good. I think this is a topping deck.
Okay. You know what? I think like if I could add in like the glass shattering sound effect of like, oh my God, I've been playing this deck all wrong. It's kind of the same thing with Kid Goku here. I was playing it much more of a slow, like control-y based deck when I really should have been playing it aggro. I think I've been playing Vegeta way too aggro and not trying to go into the long game with it. But no, that makes a whole lot of sense. Damn it, I'm gonna.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's like if you just think about it, right? So like you don't have your 5-drop, like your 5-turn isn't as explosive as Boo's. So like you actually are like kind of justified playing a longer game and trying to let the game get prolonged, and then dare your opponent to push you to a turn where they awaken you, or get you to a turn where you can awaken with a lot of tempo. So like think of it this way: if they're already on the back foot from the cards that you're playing and the fact that all of your cards come with tempo, like the 4-drop Vegeta comes in, kills a guy, makes your leader unawoke, able to swing at 25, and then he himself is a 30k. Like you don't need to awaken. You will get the pressure and the tempo that you need on your opponent and their board. Just beat them to death slowly, but beat them to death. And then if they awaken you, if they dare to, you get that huge increase in power, and now it's just an extra attack you get. He's a lot better played more as a mid-rangey, slower roll deck. And if you do get the high roll to like just nuts into him and just push, you can awaken fast. That's an option you'll have, but I think the deck is better played slower.
Oh my god, Jesus, that makes so much more sense. Wow. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. I cannot wait to start testing it again with that particular play style here. And hell, this deck actually releases tomorrow? Today or tomorrow?
I think tomorrow.
Hell yes. Well, I'm gonna have to be on the lookout, try to find these starter decks here. But hell yeah, that's awesome. Okay, now let's talk about a leader here that a lot of people have described as the boogeyman of next set. I know from talking to you, you don't necessarily agree with that. Broly, I've only played against this deck, I think, a handful of times. I've read what it can do. I've watched other people talk about it and what it can do. I think it's very good. I can see it being topping decks. But you do think it's like up there in topping decks then?
So this deck is clearly very good. I mean, it was pushed. They kind of just gave it everything that it would need to do what it does and be very, very, very easy to play. This is like probably the easiest good deck they have made. Because it really does play itself. Your play lines are all already optimized for you. The best thing that you can do is already determined for you. So you just play for that and you just hope that your opponent can't stop you. So I hate when a deck is designed this way and it's good. It is very good. There are definitely people who are dedicated to this deck because of like how it functions and how the smoothness of it and like how it feels to play, because it does feel really degenerate sometimes. But it is a good deck. It'll definitely get tops. I think it's going to be just kept out of winning, mainly because it's already going to struggle against what I think will be the actual winning decks. Yep. Like Boo really does just eat this deck, and there's even like a red deck later that just eats this deck alive. So, Broly does have his issues, but the dedication to him and the fact that he is good enough, and sometimes even if your opponent's deck is like fine-tuned to beat you, they still have to draw it like at curve. So if they don't draw it, they can still just get eaten. This deck is good. It will absolutely see tops. I don't think it'll get a major win, but it will see tops. It'll always get close.
I like it. Okay. Yeah. I agree. It's going to I feel like a lot of people are going to find easy success with it. It might carry a lot of players that aren't as, good with other decks, but just, it's Broly. Broly always does really, really good. And let's move on over to Android 18. Now, once again, I've only played against this deck a couple of times. I think the deck has potential, but from what I've been seeing, I mean, it's really, really good into certain matchups. Like, really good into decks that like want to have a bigger board, aka, Halo Ku up there. But I just don't.
I don't even think it's good into Halo Ku. I'll be honest with you. I think this is the worst red deck in the game right now, and it's not because the leader is bad. I actually think Android 18 as a leader is a very good leader. I think the problem is her card pool. They really gave her no payoffs for this kill all your opponent's battle cards, and her best card isn't even available to her on release. She has to wait for the ultimate battles to even get it. So she's definitely not going to have a chance. Yeah, so she has no chance without that card for sure. That's her best card. And she won't even have access to it for like the first month. So we've got like Android 18 players who just have an unfinished deck for no reason. And on top of that, her big payoff currently is just 13, which is definitely not doing. How are you killing your opponent? Like the idea is, yeah, the 13 swings everything and then punches their face. I think this is literally right now until she gets her manga booster support. Like legitimately, you could put this in help me please tier, but I don't think it's that bad.
Oh god, yeah. I definitely wouldn't say that bad, but I think she, based off what you said and what I've seen, I could see just being a locals deck for now, just until she gets her support. But for the sake of the argument, because I know there's going to be people that are like, well, hold on, now that she's got her support, where is she now? Would you consider her kind of a rogue deck with her?
No. I think currently with the 17, even no, she's still locals casuals.
Damn.
She just her actual support is just like really bad on her first initial launch. She get like why does the 19 not like gain power so it can then attack the leader? Like, why was the 17 like when it attacks a battle card, draw a card, and then have no payoff if a battle card is killed? Like, there's just no payoff to killing your opponent's battle cards other than a draw 2 or sometimes swing at your opponent's face for like 55 for 1 damage.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I was thinking. There's a whole lot of payoff for attacking battle cards, but you need to attack your opponent to win, which this deck just kind of...
No, there isn't even a payoff for attacking the battle cards. That's the problem. Like for example, when I say that, what I mean is like if the Android 19 that says when this card attacks a battle card, it untaps. If that card said also when an opponent's battle card is KO'd, this gains 10k. So now it can go into the leader. That would have been a payoff, but they didn't get anything like that. The only card that does that is the 17, which is a promo they don't even have.
That is true. That is, man, that's rough. I know Mikey was really
good,
but
yeah, it's a cool deck, but man, they missed on it bad.
All right, you're probably gonna take the wheel mostly with these next two, but this one right here is probably the leader I have little to no like information on, besides like I know Corrosive's been testing it. I know people have said like, he's okay, or people are like, oh, he's trash. I haven't heard of anything like great with this guy. So
yeah, I don't think so. He's cool. I think his deck's really neat. He might be a deck that gets better with support from the manga booster, but it's hard to say. I have a hard time really placing him any higher than locals or casuals, and it's not because the deck is bad. It's just I will never play this, even like in an event to play as rogue or high roll. I will never play this over the actual good black decks. For one, until it gets support, and two, I think it's really prone to breaking. You like get stuck on your front side some games and you just lose. This is the only black leader with like these really low lows, like really low lows, and it's too risky to play in a major event. It is cool though if the deck starts flowing well and you're getting everything, and like you awaken on time, you've got like eggs hitting tambourines so that they're protected, and you're able to get like a big board and start pushing 50s with Piccolo. Like if you actually get there, it's really good and it feels like a really strong black deck. But I just think the variance of it, like getting there or just having like a mid game or just having like a really poor low roll is just way too high. And I just don't see this. Like for me, rogue high roll and above would be a deck you would consider taking to a major. I would not take this to a major.
Yeah. It's got a neat ability, but it's just so many pieces you have to get lined up correctly, and I just feel like it's more hassle right now than it's worth to run it, especially when there are better, like easier to pilot black decks. Like you said, with support, this could get better. But he's hanging out with Android 13. Now, would you say Android 13's better or worse?
You mean Android 18?
Oh, did I say Android 13?
Yeah.
Not bad. Android 18.
18 is definitely worse.
Oof. Big sad.
18's the worst leader in the set, and I don't think it's close.
Man, I feel bad for all the people that were excited for a female leader, like our first female leader, and it's just not good.
Well, the thing is, the leader, the problem with her is the leader was good. Her cards are just so bad.
Damn, it's not even her fault.
No, she did nothing wrong.
Oh man. Speaking of people who have done wrong. All right, King GMA, super interesting deck. I really like the playstyle, but the problem is it just gets waxed by blue. It gets waxed by certain other yellow decks. Like, it gets waxed by red. It just... I don't know.
I don't know if I'd agree with waxed. This deck has definitely got some gas to it. Like, if you play this deck like the advantage style, like of using second demon a lot, then it's pretty dang good. And its random pressure can be very high as well. This deck sometimes just pops off and just kills you. I don't know. This is a deck like you'd be like somebody willing to take this to an event, and I think it's got the stones to get like it could top, but it's more of like a rogue deck. Very hard to sequence well at times, and you really are limited by if you find 4-cost Goma.
Yep.
If you don't find 4-cost Goma, you like are just screwed. And if you find 4-cost Goma, if your opponent can't just outright remove it, you like kind of just win the game. So that's really how this deck works, is like if you can produce 4-cost into 4-cost into 4-cost, you like kill your opponent. But this deck has definitely got a lot of power when it does find Goma. It feels very strong. So I think it's like a rogue high rolly deck. There are going to be people who take this to majors for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just, yeah, this is probably going to get seen maybe once or twice. It's a rogue deck. It definitely can kill you. I wouldn't play it.
So what I mean by wax is like most of your pieces, if not all of your pieces, are going to be like 3-cost, to max 4-cost, and 3-cost and 4-cost are blues, bread and butter. With Sinister Sickle, the bottom deck, 2 Gohan.
You don't care that your board's removed. Yeah, your board's getting removed. And you don't care.
Really?
The only one you care. Yeah, the only one you care about is if the Goma 4 lives. You don't care about the 3-drops getting removed.
Well, that's what
because you're just going to remake the board every turn. You're literally just going to replay the board every turn, basically.
Well, that's something like Sinister Sickle can target the 4-drop Goma.
Mm-hmm. So it's like they lose 1 Goma and they just play the second one. Because like once 1 Goma is like established, they draw a lot of cards.
Okay.
So it's like the Goma draws, the field can pick up a life if they need to. Then they play another dude, plays another field. So yeah, they can see a lot of cards. So it's usually once the first Goma comes out, the second one's going to happen. And if you've like removed all your stuff, like have the same turn again. So they just don't care.
Okay. I think that's a fair spot. I really like this deck. I do want to test it out eventually, but it looks neat. I can see it definitely surprising people. All right, that is the brand new leaders. I think that is pretty neat. I agree with all these plans. These look pretty well. Let's talk about the older leaders now. I'll probably go through this part a little quicker, just because there's some cards that really didn't get any support at all. Piccolo,
yeah, we don't need to even like give any explanations. Just put Piccolo in locals or casuals.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, he's neat, but like he has to go late game. Me
and Tim are always gonna put him in like mid tier, like just to trigger people. But yeah, this is my real opinion will be listed here. He's a locals casuals deck. Yeah. There was a lot of hope for him initially because we thought the game would slow down, and then it didn't, and then he was really bad.
Stepped on the gas way too hard.
Yep.
Vegeta. He's been doing good. Like, I don't like him as much as other blue decks, but I still think he's really good. It's just kind of...
I think Aggro Jito is going to be a very decent deck this set. The 5-cost double striker is something that he's going to be... He doesn't have to play the CU combo anymore. He can just play Goku Secret Rare and kind of get the same value.
God,
so you can literally just, instead of paying for like Goku and Vegeta, you could just pay 5 for the Secret Rare and then just savior it twice. So you don't have to go through all the shebang, right, anymore. And if you actually want to push them to 1 and then have a bajillion combo power, you could just play the Secret Rare, then swing at them with your leader, and then double save your leader for 70 and be like, if you don't out combo this, you still got to block my like 140k double strike. And if you like have to out combo this, then you have no cards. So I think this is a really, really, really good deck going forward, but I think it's still not going to be in like the echelon of tournament winners. I think this deck will get tops.
Oh yeah.
I think this deck will get tops this format.
It's blue. It's got the guns to do it. Would you say normally I don't care where things get placed around here, but like in the topping decks, in tournament winners, we might want to do that. I
don't think it matters. If you're not in the tournament winners, maybe like put Halo Q above Boo, but topping to whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, all these decks are going to be about similar power. I don't think it matters.
That's fair. All right. Super Saiyan Daima Goku. Like,
He's rogue. He's rogue high roll. He now is the best quote unquote aggro deck in the game. I mean, pure just gas aggro. That's him. The Shin is really, 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 really strong. If he gets like double Shin into Glorio, he just kills you. Like that's this deck's gimmick now is like, oh, I opened double Shin and 2 guys to play in the marker. So he just like turn 2 goes Shin with like a Daima Goku or a Pansy. And then on next turn, he goes Shin with another one. He awakens that turn no matter what. And then he just gasses you with a whole bunch of attacks and ends it with a Glorio if you couldn't take his entire board from him both turns. And that just kills you. So this deck has like randomly the ability to God Hand like every deck on this list. Like if he just double Shins into Glorios, like even Haloku, he'll just eat them. So it's like he's like a rogue high roll deck, but his low roll is so bad. Like he's probably going to randomly get tops this set because you're going to see like, oh, I just opened double Shin and Glorioed on 4. You know, like that's just going to happen. So he's a rogue high roll deck.
Fantastic. Let's move on to Namek Goku. I know Namek Goku was doing really well in this meta, but going into the next one, I mean, is there going to be reason to run him over, say, like Broly?
I mean, I don't think he's better than Broly. I think there are going to be people who might be dedicated. You know, I think he's like a rogue deck because he's still good. I just think that he's probably like, you got to be somewhat dedicated. I think he's definitely playable. I think he's fine.
Okay, perfect. Love that. It's a good, it's got Pot of Greed. That's a fun little gimmick. But I don't see it being as prevalent as Broly if you're going to be running Greed or another deck we'll be talking about. Let's go.
Topping.
This
don't even need to talk about this. Best generic leader in the game.
Yep. It didn't do as well. Well, it didn't. It wasn't.
It did really well. What are you talking? It was like the 3rd best deck.
Well, no. Okay. Oh yeah. Let me rephrase that. I didn't see it like perform as well, just because like I didn't see its name pop up like taking up a lot of the, top 16, top 8s. Like it's still a good leader. I'm not saying that at all.
It did very well, and it only got better this set.
Okay. Well, what are the pieces that it used to get better?
Arinsu is really good in this deck. Like Arinsu is fantastic in this deck. Like having the ability to like set up your leader rest without like having to pay your 2 is kind of nice. And it draws. Cool, fantastic card.
Ooh, okay.
You can even do like the little combo with that and the new starter Daima Vegeta that draws whenever it swings if you've got like another rested 3-drop. Really cool.
Sick. I like that. Gogeta.
Topping. This is the new best black deck, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, okay. We got the Chi-Chi, we got the we got the 6-drop Gogeta. Okay. Yeah, I can
6-drop Gogeta was the problem with this deck was it has no reason to like flip, right? Your reason to flip is you get to activate the marker, but if you already have marker activators, you don't have any reason to flip. So you wanted to play this deck slow like a control deck, but we had no control payoff. Now we do. We can play 6-drop Gogeta, and that card's pretty damn good. It removes something. It helps the Jiren matchup, which was another thing. Sometimes you'd have to like. I didn't like having to play Pans and Gotens for that matchup, so now we don't have to like flood the deck with those. So we got a better Jiren matchup, like a significantly better Jiren matchup, and then we have really good defense off that play because it gives us back the marker. We can always have Sparking up. Man, this deck just got super boosted. And if you want to play a deck that just smacks Broly, oh my god, does this deck smack Broly?
It's lore accurate.
Yeah, this deck just abuses poor little Broly, man. This is really good against that deck.
Oof. Poor guy. No, your play is trash.
Hey, don't say that.
I know. Broly's still gonna be really, really good. We're just gonna put Gogeta up there for lore accurate reasons. Next, we have Green Vegeta. It's locals, casual. This didn't get anything. It hasn't gotten anything since its reveal, and I just don't see.
The funny thing about this deck, if your locals is full of Boo players, this is actually a really good deck against Boo. Yeah. Specifically against Boo. I would not play this against pretty much anything else in like the topping decks lists on average. I do think the deck is decent though. Its Boo matchup is the only thing it has really going for it, because it does, like, if you slap some Namakus in there, you just kind of like steamroll them sometimes. But yeah, just don't play this at a major until it gets something. And hey, it's getting manga booster support, so this opinion could very, very, very quickly change. And this deck could go straight from, look, if one Vegeta could crawl out of the bowels of Help Me Please tournament winners, another Vegeta can make it there too.
Hey, there we go. Exactly. Next up, we have Black Baby. I mean, we're just gonna throw it in topping decks, right?
Yep, it's still good. This is the second best black deck. I think the difference between these two is very, very small. So it's play which one you like. If you're a bigger Baby fan, play it. I think Gogeta is only very slightly ahead of Baby.
Sick. There, easy, quick one and done. All right, so Bardock here. I have a subscriber that has made it their goal to prove to me how good Bardock is. Like, they've commented on several of my posts or ranking videos, and I get it. Like, he actually did very well personally with Bardock, but I don't know. Like, I just don't see reasons to run Bardock over any other black deck right now. It's good.
No, so here's what I'll do, and here's what I think you should do with the black decks. Right, the only one that's bad is SS4. Okay, these other black decks are all these other black decks are all good. But I like, even though I think Piccolo, like King Piccolo, is like playable and like decent, it doesn't mean I think it's bad. It just means I would rather in any, like, the only reason I would play Bardock over Gogeta or Baby is that I'm a Bardock stan, right? I really like Bardock. He's not giving me an effect or an advantage over being able to better use, say, 2-drop Trunks,
right? Or
always generate a marker without a generator, or play a more control game with upside. So because of those reasons, I would just put it in the same tier as Piccolo. Now you could take this to a major and you could top with it, because its power level isn't like significantly different than the other two black decks. So variance would be on your side sometimes, or it would punish you. It just depends how good, Dice Mom is that day. But generally you would not play this. If you're a Bardock stan, I 100% implore you to. But I'm just placing this here under the fact that you don't think that you can't play this deck at a major. I just think it's better to keep the actual two black decks I think are going to be topping and played in the conversation over like talking about Bardock or SS4, because you could play these decks. I think SS4 is bad personally. I think it's like in locals casuals tier, but I think it's actually like at the back end of it. Like Bardock could be in the very head running for it, or in like really low rogue tier, but there's just no reason to play SS4 at all. The best black cards you want to hold the marker for are used defensively, like Ultimate Sparking, and this guy does not promote doing that. So I just see no reason to play this over any of the black leaders other than that you like him, but it does make your ability to play the game worse.
Okay, like that's fair. To that subscriber, we think Bardock's good, but there's no real reason to play him over the other two better black decks. Now, what I'm surprised though is how you're saying that the worst black deck is SS4. I thought SS4 was doing really well.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't doing anything. Basically, it was like the only black decks that did anything was Baby, and Gogeta was sometimes like poking up his head. Gogeta now has the tools to do what he should have been doing last set. So, okay, now he's a finished deck, so he's going to be doing a lot better. Bardock and SS4. So Bardock's power difference between Baby and Gogeta is not like night and day. It's small enough that variance could carry him to top cuts, but I just don't see a reason to play him over the others. Now SS4, I just wouldn't play this leader, because I mean you're basically trading Ultimate Sparking. You're having to have a second generator just for you to use your leader effect, and that's really bad. So I just don't think he's worth playing at all.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Red Jiren is next, and Jiren's been putting in work. Now
Jiren's very good still.
Would you see? I think
I'd put him in tournament winners. I think he's still in there. I think he's still in that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's because yellow, unless you're running specifically yellow cards that remove bodies like the secret rare Frieza, but most boo decks don't seem to run that. So if they do run into Jiren, it is still kind of a pain in the ass, because a lot of times you are swinging 20 and 25, which Jiren is able to handle a bit easier. Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass to deal with it with blue decks that run Sinister Sickle, but Halo Coup doesn't run those. So yeah, I can see Jiren. Like, I've played against Jiren plenty of times on the client, and he is still annoying as shit. And yeah, I agree with this. I still think he's one of, if not the best red deck.
Yeah, probably.
All right, Trunks, my boy, my precious boy. I love Trunks. I think the deck is very, very fun. I think it has a really good matchup into Super Boo. Every time I've played Super Boo with Trunks, I usually end up winning just because it's just like, bouncing a 3 cost or bouncing a 4 cost with Mai is super easy. Into black decks, I think Trunks has a really good advantage because you can keep bouncing the Trunks back to hand and then use cards to get rid of your opponent's board. It's... I think, hear me out on this, I think Trunks is a rogue deck. What do you think?
I mean, I'm almost fine putting almost all the blue decks that aren't Halo Coup or another blue deck we'll talk about later in rogue tier, because like, sure, you could just take the Satan City package and put it in like Trunks or Vegeta and they'd be fine. Gohan's like the only one that it doesn't matter what you do, that deck just sucks. And then just put him in hell. Yeah, get him out of here.
Go on.
Zamasu, there's like, you can play Zamasu. Zamasu's fine. Like, you can put him in topping decks, he'll get tops. People are gonna play this deck.
Oh, it's still really good.
Yeah, it's still fine. And then put Vegeta in Rogue too, because I mean, you could literally just take the same shell and just play it in like the blue decks, and that's fine.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't matter. So
it's crazy how Vegeta was one of the topping, like the best decks in the format for a while, and now he's been reduced to just a high roll rogue deck.
Legitimately, like, I'm telling you, like, the power level between Halo Q playing the same engine and Vegeta and Trunks is almost non-essential. Like, these decks could just go in the tournament winners section. That's the difference in power. It doesn't matter. The problem is nobody's going to play these decks because you can just play Halo Q. It doesn't, like, it's very marginal. So the way you play Satan City, right, if you're playing Trunks or Vegeta, is you have to essentially give up super combos, but you get a better leader effect for it. So that's like the trade-off, is you're trading the super combos for the argumentative better leader effect. So Vegeta would be doing the exact same thing as Halo Q, with the exception of my leader swings for 35 instead of I have super combos in my deck. So that's like how those decks work. So you're just making a concession.
Okay.
Or a concession. The decks are still like equally close in power. It's very small difference. So it's like there's just no point to play them over Halo for the mass player base, because it increases the skill cap required for the deck. So nobody's going to play these. Like, they're just not going to see play. But they are very powerful if you just play the same Satan City package and play the deck the exact same way as Halo Q. Basically, it's the same deck. So nobody's just going to play them. You're just going to play Halo Q. But they're equally as good.
Okay, yeah. I mean, blues have been kind of rocking the same shell for a while. It's just kind of, just splashing a different flavor of, whatever leader you want to play with it. But yeah, that makes sense to me. Blues in a good/weird spot. Let's go green androids. We're just gonna throw it in topping decks at this point. It's just it's still.
Yeah, I think we have so many good decks now. It's like crazy. Like, some of these can't even put half of these in rogue. We just have so many decks that are just going to like see play.
Oh right, yeah. I mean, like the argument with androids is just it's the most consistent, one of the most consistent decks. It ramps the best, and any big green card can just be thrown in androids because it's good. A lot of the Broly stuff is just going to be thrown into green androids for their late game, and we can't do anything about it. Or, unless there is a ban or errata list or a limited list on ramp droids. If ramp droids were to be gone, this would drop probably a tier.
If ramp droids was gone, this would be in like Help Me Please or Locals Casual. This deck would be almost unplayable. I don't think you understand.
Yep. I was giving it the benefit of the doubt, but yeah, no.
No. This deck would be an unplayable deck without that card. Cannot touch that card.
Damn. As much as I want. Cell. I've always put Cell in high roll and rogue tier, but I feel like with the state of the game and how fast matches can be now, I feel like it's probably just better as a local casual deck at this point.
Cell is a pretty cool high roll. It actually got a top last, like at one of our major events last set. You could put this in Rogue. Because sometimes you'll just play the variance game, get to an event, not get steamrolled by anybody playing anything kind of quick, and then sometimes you pop off and you just get there and your opponent just loses because if Cell has the easiest time reaching the late game if he makes it to it. So so if Cell gets to his late game, he's typically really strong, but he's got to get there. And if you're in you just play a day full of slow decks, you can get there consistently, well, you'll have a good time.
Yeah, I can believe that. Shout out to Jamaid for the Trunks and Cell matches because those have always been so fun and just it gives me so much anxiety with those decks.
Excellent.
Now we have Goku Black, King of High Roll. He's going in Rogue because
no, he's not even playable right now.
What?
Yeah, he's not even playable. Yeah, he needs cards. I honestly think that there's gonna be people who just love this deck. They're gonna play it regardless of what anyone says. So it doesn't matter if we put the tournament winners topping decks. It's literally irrelevant. This deck needs help. It's just not consistent. Now Broly is basically just Goku Black but can't fail.
Oh god, I hate that so much.
Yeah, like imagine if they made it. Imagine if Goku Black on his front side said "End of your turn, take a life." You wouldn't have a fail state really. Then that's what Broly does, and he does the same thing. He cheats a big guy in play. So this deck is just worse Broly. If you like Goku Black, you're gonna like Broly because it's the same deck with no downsides.
That hurts to hear, man.
Yeah. So you just play Broly. And he draws on the front, even better.
Damn it, Broly. Damn it. All right, that's hurtful, but I'm gonna put him at least higher in that tier because out of respect. Let's do Beerus. So Beerus is still good. It's got some great pieces.
I think Beerus is strong enough to top, but he's going to be played more in line with Rogue. I think he can get there, but he's more definitely a Rogue deck. Oh, he's like got a uniquely cool Halo Q matchup sometimes. His matchup in Naboo is like all right. He's okay in Jiren, but then you look at like the other decks he fights in like the mid tier. He really doesn't like fighting Zamasu. He really doesn't like fighting Vegeta. He really doesn't like fighting Broly. And boy, he's gonna really, really, really hate fighting Gogeta and Ultra Vegeta 1. Because half of that leader's pressure is gonna come right from his face. So stuff he just doesn't want to fight. So it's like. Yeah, I think he's just like fine, but he's not going to be played a lot. And his matchup spread outside of like just the top decks is pretty bad. So I think he's like a Rogue deck.
That's fair. I kind of feel the same way with U7 Goku.
I think this deck's got a really cool thing it does with the Glimpse and the Gohan combo where it like plays a really long game. I like that build a lot.
Yeah, it can do some really cool things, but once you keep getting rid of their board, clearing their board, the deck just kind of runs out of gas.
Bill, have you seen Tarmo Tim's video on the slow roll control U7 deck?
I don't think I got a chance to watch that yet.
Brought to you by moi.
Oh man, I'm going to watch that on the way to work today.
Yeah, you got to watch that for sure. That's a cool one.
Sick. Speaking of red Gokus, I kind of feel like this also goes in Rogue. Like I haven't really heard of this deck doing amazing. I think I saw someone posted that it won an event, or at least
it randomly won like the Bandai Card Fest tournament, and then like doesn't really get played. The problem with this deck is I think people just don't want to play it, right? I don't think it's a bad deck. It's just like it's one of those decks that if you make like a single mistake on like turn 3, you just lose the whole game essentially, because every single card has to get absolute maximum value throughout the entire game. Because once you flip, and you do intend to stay flipped for some time once you get there, unless you're winning the game on the spot. Once you get flipped, your hand just starts slowly diminishing. So every single card has to be absolutely max value. I think this deck is just too hard to play for most people, even though it is, I think, one of the best control decks in the game. It's not going to see any play. I put it in locals or casuals. I personally feel this deck has power. I think it's very good, but I've gotten to God with this deck like twice. So it's you can do it. It's fine. It's very, 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 very annoying to play. Games take forever, and if you're not okay with like your games taking 30 minutes plus sometimes, don't play this deck. But it's just play it for locals. Learn the deck first. Takes a while, but it's fine.
Okay, I'll believe you on that one. I just don't have that much expertise with this deck. I do have a lot of expertise with this one. Locals.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in locals. He had like some steam early on last format when it was like all Namaku early on, and then people got off Namaku and realized you just play Halo-Ku and Boo, and then this Boo got unplayable. So it happens.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. This is such a fun leader to play. This was my fun deck during the set that it released in. Zamasu is my main one, or Vegeta, and this was always my fun deck. It's got some support here and there, but can't save our big pink boy. Let's go with Cooler. Now, I know you love Cooler. Where would you place?
I do. I just put him in locals.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I kind of like put him in Help Me Please because he himself needs actually just put him in Help Me Please. Himself needs support. But the best thing he does is like I play Secret Rare and swing and kill one of your dudes and then untap it and do it again. But that's like the coolest thing he does. It's
kind of sad that like he was in Help Me Please for the longest time, then he got out and he's back in.
Yeah, I just don't play him. He's just whatever. They've really messed up on him. He needs just anything, please.
Oopsie. Let's not. I got on the wrong monitor here. There we go. Starter Daima Goku. I am thinking that this is still a really good deck. I think there is justification to run him in topic.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
good. He's good generic. He's definitely good. I think that the other two red leaders are Starter Ku just got a pretty hefty buff. I don't think it's enough to play him over Daima. Unless if Starter got like 2 more cards on par with the Frieza that he got access to, maybe, because I mean 30k leader swing plus 30k battle card swing, then draw 2 is pretty good.
Right.
As in like that's insane. That's actually an insane card. But yeah, Daima 1 is still just great. It's really hard to beat him just generically as just the pile red deck. So I think he could still get there.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's also one of my favorite decks to run on the client right now. Broly. What's up,
Help me please.
Help me please, bro. Okay.
Stark contrast to the other Broly.
He had some cool tech tools he could use in set 5, but that really didn't save him all at the end. It's just I
just don't even see a reason to play this guy at locals right now. It's just, oh no, I'm 25k anyways, swing 50k. Like, okay, sure. Like this is not relevant anymore. Being a 5k butt is it's nothing anymore. Like that mattered before. It's almost not relevant now.
Damn. And speaking of non-relevancy, what about Ginyu Force? Ginyu Force was always like rogue or
you can play him. You can play him locally. I think we've got just a better aggro deck now. Like Goku Daima 2 is essentially this deck without like as much setup required, and it plays a 20 because Shin is Raccoon but with 5k more power and doesn't require you to have stuff on the board.
I like it. So
you can literally just like Shin plus another body with no setup. So it's like Ginyu if you couldn't keep him off Raccoon.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Pause.
Pause. Okay, I can agree with that. All right, this is gonna be my hot take of the day. Mini Vegeta's nuts.
Yeah, this leader is really, really good. The leader is still cheeks though. Keep that in mind. Like the leader's actual effect still sucks, but they just pushed his cards so much that just being a generically good blue deck is going to be more than enough. And then he's like generically blue good deck with upside. So he just gains for no reason. Tamagami number 3 is a really good card. Vegeta 4 is probably his best card. Some people think it's his 5-drop, but I think the tempo and the power afforded by the 4 is so insane. The 5 is insane as well. Both of those are like S tier cards. But
way,
yeah, this guy.
It's Tamagami number 1.
Oh, Tamagami number 1. 3's for red. That's my bad.
Yep.
Yeah, Tamagami number 1. This guy can on curve, like on 6 energy, draw 3 cards, produce a 35k attacker, and remove your secret rare as blue. Like,
so good.
That's insane. That's like before that was like, imagine if he could absolute lightning and draw 3 while producing a 35k. That's what this deck does now. So every single 6-drop in the game now gets answered with a draw 3, which is pretty insane. And that's every 6-drop. Like, there isn't a 6-drop that he doesn't just answer besides Jiren Red. I think that's the only one that he can't remove. So that card might just randomly see play now. Because boy, if you just like, I'm gonna play 6-drop secret rare on stream or on curve against this deck, you just lose. You just lose bad. This is an insane deck now. I think it's absolutely gonna get wins.
It's crazy. It went from butts to nuts with like 3 cards.
Well, 2 really, because Tamagami wasn't enough to do it on his own.
Well, and I'm saying like it definitely helps, but like.
Oh yeah, he's a generic good blue deck, but he also has 3 cards that nobody else can use.
Yep. It's
but the leader is so bad. It's like, man, I hate the fact this leader sucks, but they just pushed it so hard. So here we are.
I love this. When I first saw this, like with the new updated support, I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. And I can't wait to see people do some crazy things with this leader. But we only got 5 leaders left. I feel like this is going to be pretty simple. I would almost say this card needs to be in Help Me Please, but I still think there's enough of an argument to put it into casuals. What do you think?
Oh man, I had a lot of fun testing this deck recently. I really did. Like, I just played generic good red cards, and speaking of that Jiren 6-drop, I play it in this deck just because it can't be removed. I think.
But like, there's no reason to run this over like Daima Goku start.
Is there not? Did he not just get a broken 4-cost Frieza?
I mean, yes, but like, is that enough to really put him like near him?
Okay, so here's what that card does. It swings 30k. It lets your leader swing 30k, and then it draws 2 cards.
Oh, okay.
It's a very good card. It's almost assuredly going to be removed, but your opponent has to remove it, or you draw 2 off of it. And if they can't remove it, you're going to draw 3 times off of that card. So I think he is locals casuals, but the fact he went from like unplayable to up a tier at all is like a huge deal. And if he himself got like 1 or 2 cards on par with the Frieza, he could very easily be looking at Daima's spot. Like, very, very, very easily.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, I'll agree with you on that one. Next up, Frieza. I still think Frieza is really good just for his ability to be incredibly generic, but I don't know if it's like so good enough that he's in topping decks.
Nah, he's a locals deck. I wouldn't even play this at a major. Yeah, I wouldn't play this at a major.
I mean, it does a really good job of protecting bodies, I guess. But yeah, I mean, besides that, like, stuff that...
Yeah, there's a card that just beats you in the format now, so it's like, I'm not playing this leader.
Damn.
Like, outright lose with this deck. Like, my leader effect is literally non-existent. I don't like that. You don't even really get a big payoff if you do answer the Gogeta 6-drop with this leader, so it's like, oh no, I killed your 6-drop. Untap my Frieza 6-drop, I guess. Like, okay. Cool, you untapped 0 combo power. That's so sick. Anyways, play second Gogeta. Like, cool. Like, neat. I just think it's so goofy. Yeah, just these locals.
All right. Well, another leader that I know just got 2 more support cards in this set, but like, would you
really
say that...
1? I think he's rogue. I think that card that he got, that one that plays the 7 early, like lets him secret rare you like 2 turns early, is really good. Helps him quickly stabilize a board. I think he's not good at all into Broly. I think he's really bad into Broly. But I do think his matchup spread isn't terrible. He feels fine. Yeah, I could see this deck seeing play. It's just, it's definitely got a lot more power than it did. That's for sure.
Okay, awesome. You know, and like, there's plenty of people that are diehard Gohan fans, so that's awesome that at least we have one Gohan leader that's going to be playable. We only got 2 left, so let's keep going with Topku. Anyway, here, let's go to Yellow Vegeta.
Oh man, poor Topku. Yeah, he's no changes to the ban list. He's getting no Keflas back. He's getting nothing. We have nothing for this leader. He's just bad. I think, but I don't think he's. If we're putting him in Help Me Please, 18 has to go beneath him.
Oh shit! Really?
I'm just gonna put that out there. Yes.
Oh man.
I said with absolute confidence, 18 is the worst red leader, and I will not have even Topku sully that. She is definitely worse than Topku right now.
Damn. I mean, people are demanding that Topku be let out of jail because they're saying like, "Oh, the meta's fine. People can handle Topku now." It's like, really?
No. Like full power, no.
Yeah, no. This deck almost killed this game, and is the reason.
What do you mean almost? What do you mean almost?
The game
deck did kill the game.
The game is so far behind now because of this leader. Like, this never needs to ever be in like at full power. Never again.
No.
This leader is punished for all eternity. And then we have Yellow Vegeta here. You have made the argument this deck is just still really, really good. And yeah, I got a buddy that plays this deck nonstop, and it's really annoying to play against, but it's really good.
Man, this deck got like such a powerful card that it's been wanting for so long. It got access to that Vegeta extra in the starter deck that's like Gatlic Gun. Except this deck always has Gatlic Gun available.
Ooh.
Holy cow, that's insane. That you can just tap out with Gatlic Guns. Yeah. This deck, that's a huge buff for this deck. Like, it's a massive buff for this deck. But the problem is there is like a card that is really good against you in a deck that I think will see play. But honestly, Vegeta's felt fine fighting pretty much the entire format. Like he's done all right. I think he's fine. He's gonna top.
Love it. I agree. But hey guys, we are coming up on about an hour. And yeah, 40 leaders have come and gone. This is where we are ending this. The order does not matter. You know, maybe the order matters a bit in tournament winners, but this is just the tiers that me and Cody think are true. Let us know in the comments what you think though. But overall, like you mentioned earlier, this format has a lot of really good decks to play, and people are going to be able to find success with a lot of really cool stuff here. I'm excited. Set 6 meta is going to be really cool. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a little excited for it.
Just a little bit. But no, this is awesome. I like this. I'm going to see if I can snag some Vegeta decks, as my local Targets and Walmart sometimes get product early. So I might swing by those before I go to work today, but holy crap. This is...
Get what you can.
What's up?
Get what you can.
Get what I can, yeah, absolutely. Support the game. And you know what? Let us know what you think, guys, in the comments down below. I know you will. I am super excited to get my hands on these cards. Oh, but hey, Cody, thank you so much for hopping on this video, man. I really do appreciate you giving me your thoughts and opinions on a lot of decks. I really didn't have a whole lot of experience with in testing recently, so once again, you're a lifesaver. Thank you.
Yeah, bro, have fun.
But guys, that'll do it for us. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you liked what you saw here today. I'm on my way to 3,000 subs. I appreciate any and all support you guys are willing to give. And until the next video, take care.
See ya.